What is the best way to find out what your credit score is? For free. All that and more on today's episode. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? My name is Julian McClurkin. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I talk about faith, family, fun, and finance. And today we're focusing on finance, in particular, your credit score. Now, look, I want to help y'all get a perfect credit score, but really, you don't even got to have a perfect credit score. As far as real estate investing goes, anything after like a 720, 740 is all the same. So your minimum that you want to try to shoot for if you're trying to purchase your first house is right around that 620 mark. But how do we find out what our credit score is? Now, here's what I want you to do. And this is not a sponsored video. So I'm not sponsored by Credit Karma, but I want you to know that Credit Karma is one of the easiest ways to track what a general idea is of what your credit is. So what I need you to do is download the Credit Karma app. And now I'm gonna walk you through exactly what to do once you have it downloaded. Come with me into my Credit Karma. I'm gonna open up my books. I don't talk about me, check it out. So log onto the app, give them the information that they request. They're just gonna verify you are who you are. And now this is one of the first screens you're gonna see. Now you see my credit score here. It says I have a 765 that's been reported to TransUnion and a 765 that's been reported to Equifax. There's also another credit reporting service called Experian that is not used on this. So here's what I need you to do. One of the first things I want you to do is click right here on the left, and it's gonna bring up your credit health. So you just click that number, whatever that number is, you click on it. And I want you to scroll down a little bit. As you see, I took a 5-point hit here recently. I want you to scroll down, look at your score history. This is one thing that you want to kind of keep track of. Think about some of the things that you've done in the last 3 months, 6 months to 1 year. And right here is where you'll see a peak and a valley or a dip for what happened during that time. Maybe you went and applied for a credit card. Maybe you went and applied for a loan. Maybe you got something that was canceled on your credit. Whatever the credit event was, it's gonna show up right here on your score history. All right, scroll down again a little bit further, and here is the biggest part of the video. If you don't take anything else away, I want you to understand these top 3 credit factors. Now we're gonna go through all 6 credit factors, but these top 3 are the ones that get people in trouble, okay? And they're also the ones that help you out the most. Number 1, payment history, all right? You wanna make sure your payment history is 100%. Not percent, percent. It's not a word, but it should be. I want you to make sure that your credit history is 100%. You see the words high impact beside that? It's because this plays a very big role in your credit worthiness. Lenders will look at this information and say, this person will pay me back 100% of the time, whatever it is that they owe. And if yours is, 80% or 90%, in school, 80% is a B, but in credit, that's not a B. They want to make sure that you are able to pay them back. And this is your history. This is telling them that you can or you cannot pay them back. So keep your payment history as high as possible, okay? And this is the one thing also that kind of takes time to build up too. Because let's say you just missed a car payment last week. Well, that's gonna be on your credit for a little bit of time. In addition with each of these, what you can do is actually click right on the screen where it says payment history or whatever the credit factor is, and you can actually pull up when that missed payment was. See, I don't have any late payments on mine, so I don't have any to show you, but you can look and see exactly who the creditor was that you missed the payment for. All right, so let me take you back. All right, that brings me to the next part, credit card use. Say it with me, credit card use. Now, what you wanna do is you wanna keep this number under 30%. And what you wanna do is each credit card that you have, what this shows a potential mortgage lender is that you do not use a lot of the credit that they give you. So if somebody has given you a credit card for $100, right? I am showing them on mine that I've only used $4 of that. Does that make sense? The less you use, the more people want to give you, which is kind of weird to think that, you know, if you show a person that you don't want to use the thing that they give you, you would think that they wouldn't give you the thing. But no, they're going to give you even more of what that thing is. What that thing is here is credit. All right. So again, you can click on each of these, and if I click on this, it'll show you my limit. You click on that and you can see out of a $50,000 limit of credit cards that I own, I've only used about $1,800 of that. We don't use a lot of our credit cards. What we do is we use it just for like day-to-day expenses, go grab some gas, go get some food, and then we pay it off at the end of the month every single time, just so we can get some points for it. All right, that's one thing you can do too if you have the discipline. But if you don't have the discipline, I do not recommend that strategy for a lot of people because it took us a while to get to that point. All right, so let's go back. Next point that's very important, derogatory marks. Now, derogatory marks are things like if something goes into collection. Let's say you had a car that was repossessed and you need to pay that bill. Let's say you had a medical bill that you could not pay at the time, and you know now it's gone into collections. The hospital is trying to get that money from you and they weren't able to. Well, this is what they'll do. They'll put a derogatory mark on your credit, and these are serious. These are serious. But these are also opportunities for you to make a change. See, what happens to a lot of people, they get trapped in this system where, you know, these creditors will call them, right? They'll pick up the phone and say, hey, you know, you guys owe us $6,000 on this medical bill. When are you gonna pay? How are you gonna pay? We gotta get this thing paid off. Well, that's if you even make it to that stage. A lot of people will click as soon as somebody starts talking about some money. Here's what I wanna encourage you to do. If you are getting a phone call from a bill collector, answer the phone. Answer the phone, because you cannot get that problem solved if you don't answer the phone. Now, in my community, we were taught not to answer those phone calls, right? But what we didn't know is that that stuff is also building up on us in the back, you know? And they're like, cool, you don't want to answer me now? Boom, another month of interest payment. And every time that happens, you're messing up your credit further and further. But answer the phone, y'all, because here's what you can do. What a lot of credit repair companies are going to tell you is that they can call these companies and do what you should do yourself and ask for payoff. They can say, all right, you have this $6,000 bill. You can tell them, yo, COVID hit. This happened, lost my job. Here's what I need. I need a payoff. How much, if I said I can pay this thing off today, how much would y'all charge me for it? And that next thing you know, I've seen it to where those $6,000 bills go down to $300. And you get that in writing. You have them send that to you and say, if you pay us off today, $300, that's it. We'll take this off your credit. And all of a sudden, boom, you pay that $300, your credit shoots up 40, 50 points overnight, y'all. Overnight. Well, I mean, it'll take about a month and a half to actually report to your credit. But what I'm saying is you got to face these problems head on. So these derogatory marks are very, very, very important. Okay, I want you guys to remember that. All right, let's move on to the next section, which is credit age. All right, credit age. Now, we're getting to the things that matter, but they don't matter as much, right? So this is a medium impact on your credit. I'm gonna click on mine. Mine says 6 years and 6 months. Now, that in your mind would probably tell you, oh, Julian's only had a credit card or only had credit for 6 years. That's not true. What this is showing you is the average age of your credit, which is what mortgage lenders are actually looking at, the average age. Maybe you've had a card for 12 years, but then you went and got another card last year. Well, now the average age, that means it'll be right in the middle, which is 6 years. And that's kind of the situation I'm working with here too. My oldest account is 12 years old, right? My newest account is 1 year old. And my average age is 6 years. You see that? So when people look at lending me money, they're saying I have a pretty old account. They see that, but they want to know how long I've actually been doing the credit game, and it really hasn't been that long. If you look at my average age, every time I get a new card, it gets younger and younger and younger. Moving on, total accounts. How many accounts do you have? A lot of people say, I don't have any credit. Well, look at this. I've got 43 accounts. Now, I'm not going to click on this one because this will get a little bit personal and show you every single account that I have. I don't want y'all knowing all of my business. But I want you to know it's not a bad thing to open up another credit card, to open up, you know what I mean, another loan. Only if you're planning on actually paying this stuff off, y'all. Only if you plan on actually paying this stuff off. It's very important. A lot of these are student loans for your boy. Like Sally Mae don't play. That's a whole nother video though. I am going to talk about a little bit later as far as strategy goes with paying off student loans and paying them off fast. Should you pay your student loans off? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Make sure if you get a chance, you like and subscribe to this video and to this channel, because we're going to be talking about stuff like this all the time. Lastly, the last thing I want you to focus on is these hard inquiries. Now, these take 12 months to come off of your credit. So when you go and apply for loans to buy a car, you have to realize every time you do that, it's going to be a hard inquiry. When you're going to apply for a loan for a mortgage, every time you do that, it's going to be a hard inquiry. Unless, here's the caveat, unless you get more than one quote within a specific time period. Right now, that time period is about 8 days. So in 8 days, you can literally get 100 different lenders together and give them all your information and say, give me your best rate. And each of them will give you different rates. And that won't be 100 hard inquiries. That only count as one hard inquiry on your credit, which is very, very important to know. Okay, you've got that small window, but let's say you wait a month after you originally got your first hard inquiry, and now you want to go, like, let's say you tried to do it with Rocket Mortgage. Now you want to go to Chase and get a quote a month later. Well, now that's going to be 2 hard inquiries. All right, so in order to reduce the amount of inquiries that you have, make sure you do it in that same small time frame. Okay, does that make sense? Well, look, y'all, this has been your basic knowledge, basic run through of Credit Karma and how to understand your credit, and just a couple of little tips that I give all of my clients, and I help everybody out with this information because, y'all, I think that this kind of information should be free. It's really easy to understand. But in the event that you don't want to go through this process yourself, you don't want to call these people, I've got credit repair people who actually work with me. I send my clients to them and they take care of all of this for you. It's basically turnkey. And then next thing you know, in a month, 2 months, they take care of all of this stuff for you and your credit has shot up. But that's not free. You got to pay for them. That being said, until next video, I will see y'all next time. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know if y'all have any other questions, what kind of videos y'all want to see in the future. Let me know if this was helpful. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.